Planting green is a concept of planting an annual cash crop into a live, standing green cover crop. This practice allows for the implementation of cover crops into low crop diversity cropping systems in the northern plains, which typically have a cold and wet spring environment. Broadcasting or interseeding a cover crop earlier into the growing cash crop may also be an option. Planting green typically focuses on spring establishment of soybeans, sunflowers, and edible beans into an actively growing and green cover crop. Benefits of planting green include erosion control, management of water quality and quantity, weed suppression, and an overall benefit to soil health.
My name is Robert Heidrich. I'm from Strasburg, North Dakota. I've been planting green. This is maybe my 8th year of planting green. The first year I just read about it, and just to keep a live plant growing many months of the year as possible. And going into soybeans, you know, it's the end of May. This rye was actually planted in late July last year after we combined peas. It was put into a multi-species cover crop. Unfortunately, we didn't get any rain last fall, so it didn't really germinate until September or so. You know, the other plants came up and they didn't get very big, and then they died off. And it would have kind of been a waste of time and money had not been for the rye that was in there. Biggest is the ground cover. I mean, especially when the rye rolls down nice, you know, the ground is covered. Also, it was a peas last year, and now this will be soybeans. So normally it would be 2 years of a low residue, low carbon to nitrogen ratio plant, and the rye sticks around really good and covers the soil nice, and allows me to actually grow a cereal in between the two crops, you know, that way. The only concern I have with it is moisture. You know, I want to make sure there's enough moisture left to get the soybeans out of the ground. Other than that, you think about it, the soybean, when they're really small, they really don't need much water, just as long as they get out of the ground. Where they need the water is late July, August, and by that time, there's been plenty of time to replenish the soil moisture, versus if the ground was bare. Actually, I feel I have more moisture later in the fall because I have canopy over the soil holding the moisture in. You know, other than the moisture in the spring, I don't see any downfall at all. The soybeans, it doesn't seem to affect them. They do just fine. As far as the rye goes, the taller you can get it, planting into it is no problem when it's standing. I mean, the planter just rolls right over it. I solid seed my soybeans just because I like to have ground canopy as soon as possible. You know, working with a corn planter would be fine, but I don't like the bare rows. The first 2 years I did it, I just did it on some small fields just to try it, you know, like 25, 30 acres. After 2 years, I just liked what I seen. Following year, seeding into that ground, it was so nice and soft. Soil aggregates were unbelievable. It was just a win-win deal.